Shouts out to the King Venom, the CEO of Theta Boy Entertainment, the hottest label from Mississippi.
Blunt talk, if it's on your mental, speak on it. Blunt talk, inhale deep stress release on it. Blunt talk, if it's knowledge that you seek, homie. Blunt talk, blunt talk.
Hello, my name is Janee Adamns, and I am with Silver Dollar Entertainment and the Silver Dollar Entertainment Promotion. You are now listening to Blunt Talk TV podcast. Shout out to Theta Boy ENT.
Universal greetings, kings, queens, gods, and goddesses. Welcome to season 2 of Blunt Talk TV podcast, the home of real conversation with real artists, producers, black CEOs, and activists. Today on the show, we have a melanated queen that has put her stamp on the game, not just for the Memphis area, but also nationally with her management company, Silver Dollar Entertainment Promotions, and her adult entertainment company, Silver Dollar Entertainment. Blunt Talk TV fam, welcome Queen Janee Adamns to the show.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Queen, thank you so much for, taking your valuable time just to be on our platform. We are extremely grateful to have you on here. Queen, I know, you're a woman that holds many crowns, hyper intelligent, soliloquy on 1,000. I know my audience would love to know, where are you from and what got you started in the management aspect of the music industry?
Well, I am from Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. I have lived in quite a few different places, but currently I live between Memphis, Tennessee, and Pine Arkansas. I can actually say, I never really saw myself as being a business owner or a manager as I was coming up. But what I can say was, through my duration of going through college, I did learn a lot. But the people that I met and some of the people that I met that were a little older in other aspects of my life actually made me eager to want to have my own company. And then when I saw something that I was actually kind of good at, it took me there, but then I wanted to go further. I wanted to go outside of just adult entertainment into eventually, the industry, the music industry. And I can honestly say that I wouldn't call myself more so as having Flesh and Bone is not as an artist, but, I am more of a promoter. I'm a promoter of the Flesh and Bone global plan or the game, making sure that everyone gets seen. We're putting things out there. People know about the new music and they know about what's happening. But that's what I pretty much kind of value myself on, is branding and promoting. Because if nothing else, if you're being seen, people are seeing you. They know how to get in touch with you and how to contact you, because out of sight, out of mind.
Indeed, most definitely. A lot of people, they try to, push past the marketing side, the promotion side of the industry, but that's really the lifeblood of it. Because like you said, if you're not putting yourself in that light, if you're not making those connections, and especially if you're not understanding the business behind it, then you're definitely going to get lost in the sauce and fall under that ocean or that tidal wave of the momentum of everybody else.
I understand.
Indeed. Now, tell me, what inspired you to, continue to broaden your intellect, and how does that translate to you being that promoter and that marketer that you are?
I've always known, or, I paid attention at an early age that my mother and father always, of course, they tell you to be whatever you want to be. But at the same time, not only was I told I could be whatever I wanted to be, they took me to different events and different things that cultivated me to see different areas or where I may, find interest or something I may be good at. So the motivation behind trying to be a great promoter or a brander it comes from education as well. Because when you're in school, you know what you like, you know what you're good at. Mm-hmm. But then because, as a student in education or higher education, makes you a more rounded person. You find all the small things you may be good at. Now, me personally, I'm more on the lines of I love promoting, I love branding, I love the idea of being creative when it comes to making something your own, making your own reputation, or creating what you want the people to understand about yourself. But the most important thing that works for branding is always the thing of celebrating something, whether celebrating life, celebrating something someone believes in. It's always about the belief system. Mm-hmm. And so if you think that you are a great writer, rapper, teacher, or just anything, you know, your brand is your own, and you have to give it its own authenticity. So going to school, you know, finding out what you're good at is finding out what makes you, you. And if you create your own brand, then sometimes when you go a little deeper in it or further in it, you know, you become, you know, honestly the business. Now, I'm not going to lie, by trade, I have or by education, rather, I have a BS, a bachelor's degree in chemistry, and I have a master's of science in teaching, where I emphasize on physical science and earth science and mathematics. But everything that came along with branding or promoting came from some internal knowledge, but I by chance went out and took a course here and there, you know, in a business class or in a marketing class or in a you know, internet informational class. Or there are also great seminars and webinars that you can find online that actually give you the information you need, but it just depends on how it's interpreted and how you use it.
Most definitely, most definitely. You know, we was kind of talking offline, and salute for you to get that BS in those different fields. And on top of that, you definitely got it at a HBCU. And I salute you, Queen, you know what I'm saying, for searching for that higher education within our community, as well as the work that you do within our community.
Thank you. Well, to be honest, my bachelor's and my master's were at two separate HBCUs, but I support HBCUs. Go UAPB, go Jackson State.
Y'all heard that? Salute Jackson State, you feel me? Mississippi, stand up. You know, I'm a big advocate of making that awareness for the HBCUs. I miss back in the 90s and the early 2000s when a lot of our black sitcoms, you know, they subliminally promoted, you know, HBCUs, whether you watched the episode of Martin and he had a different HBCU sweater on every day, or, you know, you would sit there and see on the Cosby Show that would big up to different HBCUs. You know, I definitely feel like that, just putting it in that light, making it aware that you can be educated, you can reach higher echelons through these different HBCUs, and we need to support them. A lot of these different institutions, they're growing because of their alumni, you know, and not just getting that certificate or that degree, but also, you know, being active as an alumni. So definitely salute to you for that.
Thank you. You know, I know there are a lot of people out here that support HBCUs, but I know one of the main awarenesses that we always hear that's actually on, you know, talk radio, you know, is a Tom Dorner morning show.
Indeed.
And, you know, always hear about it on Ricky Smiley, and, you know, his morning show as well. But, you know, those are ways of knowing about HBCUs. I just honestly wish that, you know, those type of talk shows are for older people. I just wish there were more advocates for younger students to do so. Now, I do know that for the university I work in recruitment, and we go out to different schools. But in the Memphis area, they have the HBCU awareness program, where they take groups of students from the city of Memphis to different HBCUs to show them the college experience and what educational factors and values that the university actually holds. And I figure if we can cultivate over the years more programs that can do that, that will be so much more beneficial to a lot of our students, because it's easy for our parents to tell us something, but at the same time, with the younger generation that we're bringing up, it's more like they have to see it for themselves.
Right. It's nothing like seeing a version of yourself doing what you want to do to make it seem possible for you.
True.
Now, definitely as we continue to build, that's definitely something I would love to, help establish alongside with you. So most definitely, if there's anything that we can do as Theta Boy ENT or Third Eye Empire or Ice on the Promo, which is Independent Chicks ENT, we would definitely love to assist, in helping the youth connect with different HBCUs as well.
Yes, I think also, I don't know about many cities. I just know about, the cities that I stay in, or my main city, which I grew up in, which is Memphis. Like I said, knowing about what your next steps can be is one thing, but it takes a village to raise children still in 2022.
Correct.
And, there's so many things that we can look at, not just, going to school, because I honestly have seen and know that, I paid attention a couple years back. I don't know if you're familiar with the North Star initiative that Michelle Obama had.
Not that much. Can you enlighten me on it?
Yes, the North Star initiative was basically just trying to make sure that every student that wanted to had a capability or had the knowledge of knowing what they could do after high school to further their knowledge, whether it be college, whether it be a trade, or whether it be just some type. Well, when I say trade, we can say in this day and age, we have different schools of specialty. Like, you can go to school to, just be an LPN. You can go to school, just to be a CNA or a plumber or a cosmetologist. But the point is doing something and also uplifting our community college, because there are a lot of schools that are bridging between 2-year colleges and 4-year colleges to make sure that knowledge is there. But, college will give you knowledge, and I've heard one of my counterparts that chose a trade route. They say that trade will get you paid, but at the end of the day, all occupations are needed, and it's very important for our students and our young people to know that it doesn't end there. You can always do something else. It's never, you're never too old to learn something new or do something different. So I have a friend in the city of Memphis. His name is Corey Travis. He has a program for students ranging from the ages of, I think pretty much maybe the youngest little guys I saw were 4-5 years old, ranging to students that were 16 and 17 years old. And it's called the Memphis Youth Arts Initiative. And I've worked with them over this past year. And they are basically taking children. They have a youth drum line and a dance line. And the thing about that is, they do go different places to see, colleges. Like, at a young age, like 4 or 5, college is a little different when you're paying attention to it, because you're seeing whatever the aspect of what you're doing, like the band aspect, and not just the knowledge, but you have to stay on the right path in order to get to college.
Right.
But at the same time, the program that he has is a youth initiative. It basically is a prevention program or intervention program, because it keeps these kids off the street. They get to go there for tutoring sessions after school. They get to go there in the summertime, and even during the pandemic, he had it set up for students to be able to come in and be helped with their homeschooling. So we, not just within our community of students that we may want to go to HBCUs or any college or any trade, we have to put things forth for our students to be proactive. The one thing that I hate about a lot of places right now in the world, they've taken vocational schools out of high schools, meaning students would be able to go to school and go to a vocational school and learn cosmetology, learn, the different trades of plumbing or heating and air conditioning or just design. It's not there anymore. Some of these type of implementations within the school system really work, because some of these students can have their hours or their certification before they even leave out when they're 18 or 19 years old. And that would save some of our students, some of our people, some of our young people from the violence and crime in our communities around us.
Most definitely. And I definitely have to give a shout out to my 9th grade teacher. She was my marketing teacher, Miss Rayner. And she's the one that introduced me to the marketing aspect of business and showed me that I could be a business owner. And she brought me into the DECA program. And, you know, I would sit there and do marketing management series where they would give us different scenarios as if you're the business owner and how would you handle certain aspects. And going to the topic of junior colleges, you know, shout out to Jones County Junior College. You know, they helped bridge the gap between me not thinking that I would be able to go to a 4-year university because I didn't have that support or backup. And that led me further down the road. So most definitely they are vital and they're necessary. Definitely just salute to your initiative of making people aware because, you know, especially with your partner, Corey, you know, showing kids that you can build this skill to where now you can get this scholarship to go to school, but you have to stay on that path. You know, a lot of times, like they say, you know, idle hands is the devil playground. If we're not providing outlets for the youth and we're only just sitting there saying, sit down in this class and learn just enough to pass, we're not showing them what they can do after they graduate. So that is definitely vital and needed in our community.
And I hold his initiative close to my heart because I myself was a percussionist when I was in college at the University of Arkansas, Pine one of the few female drummers, but I actually was one of the first ladies to play bass drum, well, actually the first lady to play a 28-inch bass drum at the university. So it holds close to my heart to know that these young children have a passion that I shared myself. And that actually took me to college on a scholarship. And that music scholarship or that band scholarship actually cultivated me in music, but yet at the same time I was able to earn a chemistry degree, which was my main interest. Yeah, what they say, you got to use what you got to get what you want.
Big facts. And for those that try to take that quote the wrong way, we're talking about using the positive aspects of what you got to get where you want and where you need. Now, Queen, you know, I always preach to my artists that you must understand the business and all aspects of what you're involved in. How important is it to have that wisdom under your belt?
I think in every aspect of life, you have to know your craft. Now, it's okay to know the outline, but you have to know your craft because at no time do you want to be the person. And let's just say for you, if you're independent, if you're the artist, if you're the boss, I don't even care, you're the engineer, the beat maker, your craft is your craft. People can help you increase your craft, but the same knowledge or the same types of questions that they may ask, you have to be at the top of your game. And that's because that's your craft. Right. It's kind of like your baby. You have to take care of your baby. You have to know what it needs, what's out there for it, or what's the future. You have to stay up on research. You have to stay up on what's in your area and stay up on what's the most current. And I'm not saying in the sense of you have to be the absolute best in the world. No, you have to be the best for yourself and be knowledgeable about it because that's important. No one wants to be put on Front Street to be asked a question and not know something. But I will say this as, you know, a teacher or professor, that my first boss that gave me the chance, he always said, if there is something that you do not know, you know, if you know something about it, make that statement. But if you need to get more information, do not be afraid to say, oh, I need to look up on that, because the whole point is life is a learning experience, and the one thing you don't want to do is wait until you're put on Front Street to know something. You just make sure you always stay up on what your craft is. No one can tell me, okay, I'm going to say this and I don't want to sound crazy. Let's just say if I'm talking about me throwing an event, I can always get great ideas from other people and improve aspects of what I'm doing. But the thing, that does not mean that I don't already know about them. But sometimes a recipe that you may have works for you. And sometimes you may not want to change it, and you want to improve sometimes, but it doesn't mean I don't know about other things that can be added. So that's just like with a music artist. You may know, okay, well, I know about the rhythm, I know about the beats, I know about the engineering, but the other questions or the other aspects, like you just said, the marketing. Marketing is important because you need to know what goes along with it. You need to know what goes behind it, what else you can do to improve it. Marketing is not just marketing. Branding, marketing, promoting, those are three different things. Marketing deals with more of the numbers, and numbers are more important for that aspect, but at the same time, if you're branding yourself, branding matters too, because that's what people see in front of their face. They're going to see your covers, they're going to see your appearance, they're going to see what you give out to them. And what you give out in a artist type of situation is very important, because I know we shouldn't care, but perception is everything.
Facts. And my grandfather always used to sit there and say, when you are mastering your craft, when you know something, you stand on what you know. And then the phrase enlighten me is a very powerful thing, because if you don't understand something or you don't know, it's not nothing to be ashamed about. But if you come across somebody that's, like we would say in the military, a subject matter expert, you come to that person and be humble and be like, enlighten me. Because it might be that little piece of sauce that will connect the dots for you. Especially, I talked about it on the last episode. Shout out DJ Baby Boy, because he was the first person that really came to me and he was like, don't be like the rest of the people out here just printing your CDs out on these blank CDs, writing your covers. He'll like really put it out there like that you're expecting it to be in the store. Do your covers, do your CDs correctly. Package it as if you're already there, and then people are going to respect you for the work that you're putting in. So I definitely agree with you, and I highly respect that viewpoint.
Thank you. But a lot of people still, they have the understanding that people start from the bottom and they make it to the top. But as we spoke of offline, most people are seeing the goal and what they're trying to reach, but they don't pay attention to the work that's putting in. When I first started Silver Dollar Entertainment, I did not only start on my own. I started with an idea, and I started by doing an event, and the event was, it was great, but there were people that helped me through the event that I still am around to this day. But I had, a fellow by the name of Israel Sanders, and we still work together to this day. But that was one of the first people that believed in me. But because I saw this person believing in me, it made me believe in me more and put out more. So you get the vibe and you get energy from other people. But one thing also about it is just starting the business and starting the brand. Sometimes you do have to make, decisions of how you do it, even if you are starting with low funding, because everyone doesn't have the same budget, or everyone does not have the same means of getting finances to do what they need to do. So like you were saying with the white couple, I knew somebody that knew how to use, Photoshop. So, hey, we needed flyers. This person would do flyers. Sometimes, to be on the strength, sometimes it'd be little or nothing. But then, doing promo videos, I knew I had access to a computer, and I made myself have access or buy a small video camera. I made small promos on my own. We had business cards. We knew how to, get business cards made and print those off. You start small, but the bigger your picture gets, you have to expand, because there are some people out here in certain industries, they literally start 5 years in one spot, 1 year in one spot, and 5 years later, they're still trying to do the same thing. My thing is you have to grow with time, no matter if it's just, hey, I went from knowing that all pictures on a flyer, notice they look kind of different, to, oh no, we need professional pictures because those are pixelated. It's just the small things that change, because the things are, if I hate to say it, if you know somebody with a professional camera, that's the correct pixels. Take your pixels, and nowadays you got Vista Print. get it in color. You have everything you need, but there's so many ways now. So that means just like how we look at the industry of music now, and there's so many ways to promote yourself and get yourself out there and be on top. It's not the same type of situation from in the 80s and 90s when people were out here, singing on corners, doing any type of events, or, actually trying to, make, like you said, making their own, recording their own CDs at home, with the little, I can't call it right now, but, we had recorders back then.
Right.
So many things have changed, and that's the thing, because right about now, somebody knows somebody that does something.
Indeed.
So utilize it.
Your network is your net worth, and most definitely, just like how you built with your close network of partners, that's how me and Queen Kaylee Sidris, how we started. She actually met me while I was in college and I was homeless, and a lot of people didn't believe in me at the time, but she saw the value in what I was attempting to do and the steps I was making, and over the time we kept building and growing our network. And that's how everything has been snowballing. So most definitely, you got to hold that core team. You got to hold them to that, basically cherish them, and definitely help them like they're helping you. So I definitely salute how you've been building with your team and how you're constantly diversifying your business.
And that's what you have to do, because like I said, I started off with a team of just myself and the first entertainer, but now I have more entertainers as far as, management. I have Eric, I have Jim Terriers. I've had a couple other people that ventured inside and outside, but then I also have a promotion crew where, I do promos for them or put their promos out, but it makes it better because it's kind of like a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if you're the promos or like you just said, your networking crew. Just because you don't manage someone or just because you don't work as closely as you may like, but the whole point is working or networking works out for you. The same way that I do some promoting for other, entertainers, that means that, hey, you can come to my website, you can see these entertainers, you can see exclusive videos, exclusive pictures, but that works well for Silver Dollar Entertainment, but it also works well for those entertainers because there's a spot on there that, it emphasizes them. They have their own page to go on, like I said, to see videos and pictures, but at the same time, you will always kind of know what they're doing because all of their upcoming event flyers are on there. So it works out not just for, my company or the entertainers, but it actually works out for other promoters in the industry because, just because someone may come to my website, they may see someone in Florida's flyer. Just because someone goes to an event, let's just say in Texas, one of those entertainers may have one of my flyers in Texas for Tennessee. So there are so many ways to network and get out there. But, you always have to, like you said, be thankful for those that believed in you or saw something in you when you didn't even see it in yourself. And that takes you back to humble beginnings.
Indeed. Real quick, Queen Janee, do you mind introducing these dope artists for our first hip-hop break?
Oh, no problem. For the first hip-hop break, we're going to start off with Bone Thugs and Harmony, Verse of the Month. Then King Venom, Comeback, The Phoenix, featuring Red Zone Reaper. Queen Star, Like This, featuring Red Zone Reaper. King Venom, Thuggin', featuring Lazy Bone or HC the Chemist. Camo Slim, Broke the Code. Professor A, myself, The Scientific Method. Red Zone Reaper, Back Against the Wall.
Indeed. Blunt Talk TV fan, we'll be right back.
Having a wonderful day, and I won't fight with my wives. It's the first of the month. And now the smoking, joking, rolling, bustin', sipping on 40 ounces, thuggin'. Gum, we got the blunts and rum. All night we high, get up the back to where 99. I give with my nigga to give me some yo. Double up, nigga, what you need? We got weed to get P.O.D. Fiend for the green league. Double up for the first to show, but it lay low. Cause the pump creep when they roll so quick. If you can't get away, but it toast that yo. Keep your bankroll. We're having a celebration. Let us stay high. You can never believe when it's time to grind. I'm down for mine. Crime after crime. From the creep to the bag, cause mom's got a grab on the grill. If we got the food, you know it's the first of the month. And my nigga, we chills for real. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up,
pick up, and I see that my sister was already dressed. She said, I'm really go get in my stance. Watch I make sure no one snatches my chick. Nigga, that's the real man. Sold to the mail and put it up in the mid pocket. So let me hit it and land it down. To give me a cup of bout tag out. But ain't no bucket ride that. Read up, hop on the 10 to the clip. Ready to get him up with him at thugs. And to catch that gun, man, I gotta get there. Player, holler, say clear, got much to offer. Well, I bet weed on 93. I'll open the clock for some dollars. So, get a bag of dope and a quarter roll. Oh, most all of my niggas got the same. And we gonna roll it all up the smoke. And then they reefer hydro. We know the cut, so fuck them popo. Toss up the giggle, then roll with a clone the same old. Running through the alley, get in the alley. How about the second the sundown? No front from January on 9 of December. I'm loving the first of the month.
wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Gotta grind, gotta get mine. In the hood that I claim and I slang on the double nine. Gotta find them dubs. Wanna get full, can a thug get love? What's up? Try to sing on my corner, nigga. Use a corner. St. Clair niggas don't like that. And selling them dummies, making that money. Come back, nigga, get that. From the 1st to the 15th, niggas smoke plenty weed, but I gotta say, gotta come up. Put my rocks in the club. Wanna get high, nigga, blaze that blood. Time to roll to the bag. Count on my profit and add it to the stash. Gotta watch my backseat for niggas that's trying to rob me. Fool, but never no shows and no losses. Don't be keeping these niggas up off me. See, coulda sold the whole block, spend a couple bills, thug, smoke a lot of weed on the fur.
Wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up.
Waking up feeling buzz up early in the morning, stretching I'm yawning, lightweight bitch, chugga like I take a fifth to the dawn. Last night I got kicked with my truck, but it dance, so I'm getting me hustle long. Hop on the phone, calling up crazy phone. Wanna know did your OG check come?
Put me down.
I'm hop on the bus with Big,
Let's get drunk.
and I'm coming with blood after blood of the skull. Nigga T just put me down. Oh God, how I love when it first come around. Now I'm freaking me black and mild, head across town. Cause nigga the first get celebrated. Rushing to the block cause I wanna get faded. Looking on wild cause I'm needing me hair braided. We heavy off into this game. Two to the first, just call me that post line. Them nickels and dimes and 20s and 50s. The first be the day for the dope man, slanging that cocaine food. And I'm working late tonight. And all them things be loving them thugs. Cause I got them rocks for them blocks. Come with the ends, I gotta get paid. On the first, gotta blaze up my split. Get live with it, both us poetic hustlers in the graveyard shift on the first.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up.
What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. Ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. Ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back. I got a heavy grind, hustle strong, no debate, smoking hella gas with my bro, levitate, screaming baby LA, Queensburg, raise a tray, city of G's, Saul Miller's, collection play, feel my solar split, roller split, no stoner shit, I said bitch I'm wrong, check my paper, come with the tip, cheap at 28, mouth and seal, I'm talking zip, fuck a state line, TSA, I'm talking strips, I'm screaming fuck a border, fuck a wall, y'all dumb as shit, I'm talking black and brown, minorities running shit, fuck it, check my crown, I'm educated, I'm with the shit, I'm talking Malcolm X, by any means, this is what you get, come back, bitch, I done that, ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that, what y'all talking about, I come back, bitch, I done that, 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back, what y'all talking about, I come back, bitch, I done that, ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that, what y'all talking about, I come back, bitch, I done that, 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back.
Man, I stay up in the booth, this is the truth, it's nothing new. Hitting game so ill, every track sound like the flu. Now watch just what I brew, wrist flicking, my mind ticking. Now I done spilled the stew, sauce heavy, drip too much, I left the residue. Now this was overdue, check the revenue. I don't need a comeback, subdue that point of view. I been getting money, my niggas, so where were you? If you never secure the bag, watch who you speaking to. I'ma give a clue, it's family first, that's what I'm bringing meaning to. If it ain't FOE, it ain't feasible. If it ain't about money, we ain't seeing you. You can hate, but homie, I tried teaching you.
Come back, bitch, I done that. Ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. Ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back. You can send the track in 48, I send it back. Y'all talking less work with less work. What sense is that? Dip the quill as my soul bleed up in it lack. Been through pain for my child's peace, that's been a fact. Her and her cousins gon' be straight, that's family ties, nigga, from the sip. Live in Belma, feel my tie, nigga, like a man. Bear my fame, feel my pride, nigga, I cheap on pressure, leave my pressure. Look in my eyes, nigga, the booth is lit. Read the sign, no goofy shit, life's a RPG, that's on me. My tools equipped, raised off the hill, off the corner, that's Lucas shit. We invest in team, stay down, the crew's equipped. Yeah, come back, bitch, I done that. Ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. Ties on my hustle, run flat, tracks I burn that. What y'all talking about? I come back, bitch, I done that. 7 songs a fucking night, nigga, now the sun back.
You ain't never felt a vibe like this. Seen a crown tilted hell high like this. If you on your grind, let it shine like this. Melanated and bubbling, I vibe like this. You ain't never felt a vibe like this. Seen a crown tilted hell high like this. If you on your grind, let it shine like this. Melanated and bubbling, I vibe like this. Vivacious and I'm passionate, far from being average. Work on like a management, I swear yeah I captured it. Pink ain't so immaculate, skillful like a magician. My power in my baby told them regress all across the land. I'm so fly, I'm glowing. going, yeah, I'm so high I'm floating. Don't see no competition, yeah, I feel like I've been chosen. Be better than I was the day before, I'm steady growing. Melanin popping, baby, value greatly overflowing. Positive vibes only, my mind laser focus. Infrared in my vision, see through bullshit, hocus pocus. Keep my friends close, but my enemies the closest. Beautiful as a lotus, flow so explosive. Fresh out the gate, no time for the lake, go hard in the paint, but this ain't a game. Rise, elevate, up in the way, I just can't stand in my own lane. My word ain't the same, embracing the change. Come up, break, I walked on the brain, I choose my fate. I wake up a slay, I'm sharp as a snake with stars and names. You ain't never felt a vibe like this. Seen a crown tip to hell high like this. If you on your grind, let it shine like this. Melanated and bubbling, I vibe like this. You ain't never felt a vibe like this. Seen a crown tip to hell high like this. If you on your grind, let it shine like this. Melanated and bubbling, I vibe like this.
5A1, been on since day one. Got a king type drip, royal filtration. On top like a star, I'm a constellation. Been lit, I'm not hot, I'm on cremation. Look, I'm fresher than a newborn out the nursery. My skills embedded like I got it out of surgery. Not of this earth, double cup full of mercury. And if you owe me, I need the currency urgently. In this race, you know the bag is the destination. Up the pace until the money is my location. Giving knowledge to the seed on some cultivation until they ready to proceed. Coronation, I'm a god, so you know I vibe higher. Breathe life into the beat and let it spread wildfire. If you speaking greatness, I'm in they mouth pacifier. And if you feature red zone, that's a track multiplier, nigga.
You ain't never felt a vibe like this. Seen a crown tip to hell high like this. If you on your grind, let it shine like this. Melanated and bubbling, I vibe like this. You ain't never felt a vibe like this. Seen a crown tip to hell high like this. If you on your grind, let it shine like this. Melanated and bubbling, I vibe like this.
Anybody that I'm with, they be all these houses that I bought came from how the fuck you niggas broke if you any foreign that I'm in came from every day I'm thanking God for my blessings. God like essence, gotta have respect when you're in my presence. Nigga might snap if a nigga feel threatened. World so cool, full of difficult questions. Real nigga from the hood, known to pull up quick cause I got to get 'em. I'ma break a nigga down, lay a nigga down with hypnotic real. Don't fuck with me, I think not. Better shit to get on my block. You niggas be thinking you equal a thug, you equal a thug, you equal me not. I'ma pray for you niggas that didn't pray for me. I'ma pray even though you didn't pray for me. All these houses that I bought came from how the fuck you niggas broke if you any foreign that I'm in came from every day I'm thanking God for my
still thanking God for my blessings, forever be young and the restless. The 30 it come with a silence and cooling compressors too fast. Keep it 38, that's special. With a snub nose on the dresser. Can't close the deal, she wearing the Y, so open her up and undress her. Young niggas stay glide like Dressler. Till the nigga got caught in his Tesla. They just opened this top with that pressure and left him dead on the stretcher. Stand under that radar. So not the feds, they gon' catch us. Them bullets just ate up his face. Young had to collect us.
anybody that I'm with, they be all these houses that I bought came from how the fuck you niggas broke if you
just broke the code to the system. I just ran it up, this a bip. I just turned my nigga to a hitter. Diamond shining hard, look at this. I just broke the code to the system. I just ran it up, this a bip. I just turned my nigga to a hitter. Diamond shining hard, look at this. Bro niggas like quicksand. You can be a hitman. My gun got a chip hand. It came straight from Japan. Knock you from your hip, man. I got goons like that, man. Beat your ass like that, man. Turned up on my level. I might smack you with my itch hand. Then you might be worth some. Right now you a book one. Your bitch got a big tongue. And she like me, she fuck me the nicest. Call her supersizing. Big nuts, I catch big ones. Then she make my click on. She want all the bodies. I call it the Gaudi. We want all the riders. We take all the prizes. Money stuck like buildings. Bankroll keep me at my feeling. Drop my top, no ceiling. Drop your top, no whistling. Hit the gas, go missing. Hit the gas, go drifting. I just go to four. I just made a killing. We gon' paint the city. Camo Slim Da Vinci. With the combination, breaking codes to the system. I just broke the code to the system. I just ran it up, this a bip. I just turned my nigga to a hitter. Diamond shining hard, look at this. I just broke the code to the system. I just ran it up, this a bip. I just turned my nigga to a hitter. Diamond shining hard, look at this. Scraped off of that Pico. 808 is speaker. 8 o'clock that people. It's early, I got dickers. With my phone, I make it sequel. I'm concrete by the leader. I got junkies, want that junk food. They really got the sweet tooth on me. Hammer look like Pigo. Mexicana seafood. I heard fishes walk on land now. My fishing rod got hands now. I told you I want bandits, butter panties, and a pants down. Like a man, be a silence, ran the touchdown. Off the ramming, that pussy I jammed it. Put your face down. She can't understand me. I just fucked her, then I dipped out. Jump my phone, give me 30 minutes. Beat the block down. Do the running man, catch a jewel on the way round. The craziest thing I heard of, they was being broke, okay now. You done took your telly. I just took the F in. On my way to Big Ben. I don't need no pretend. Night walker, how creeping. Treasure hunt them deep in, yeah. I just broke the code to the system. I just ran it up, this a bip. I just turned my nigga to a hitter. Diamond shining hard, look at this. I just broke the code to the system. I just ran it up, this a bip. I just turned my nigga to a hitter. Diamond shining hard, look at this.
Beats crazy.
The scientific method is the way of life. Investigating knowledge with all of your might. Science itself is the method of knowing. Experiments are performed as a way of showing. Data, it can describe or define the results of residues that are left behind. Qualitative data describes physical properties. Just by observing, you can tell what it's going to be. Quantitative data defines the quantities. Measurable numbers, they can be almost anything. It really doesn't matter whether big or small. Science is the way to discover them all. An experiment is a way to test hypothesis, which is nothing but observing and educated guess. A hypothesis is formed from the original question, the reason for the approach to be presented. Scientific method, scientific method. Yeah. Shout out to all my people in the big city. Yeah. Shout out to all those components. Observation, quantitative and qualitative. Hypothesis, experiment too. The process itself is fairly simple. Just taking time to remember the mental form of question, hypothesis, prediction, testing, analysis, replication is a must do. If there's anything that you want to know, performing an investigation is the way to go. After continuous, repeated observation, a scientific law can be instated. The fact that results are constant and consistent, the rules will be the same under the same condition. The law is a factual, well-defined statement, even mathematical in the form of an equation. A scientific law was once a theory, a stable explanation we can understand clearly.
scientific method. Characterized by the natural science to the 17th century. Consistent in the systematic observation, measurement, experiment, and the formulation, testing, and modification of hypothesis. Hypothesis offers explanations made on the basis of the limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation. Experiment, a scientific procedure undertaken for the purpose of determining discovery. A law, a statement based on the repeat experiment, observation that describes some aspects of the nature. A theory, an idea used to account for a situation, a justified course of action. Quantitative data expressing a certain quantity, amount, a range of measurements. Qualitative data, information about the qualities, information that can't actually be physically measured, but that's the scientific method, boss mode.
Back against the wall, you gotta grind. When you're back against the wall, you know that you gotta grind. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, just being honest. And the moral of the story is focusing on your dollars, little nigga. Back against the wall, you gotta grind. When you're back against the wall, you know that you gotta grind. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, just being honest. And the moral of the story is focusing on your dollars, little nigga. Back against the wall, I won't crumble, I won't fall. On the beast yelling out my animalistic call. Pain like fire being thrown on barrels of ethanol. But when I blow, I be the one that they say that was in the wrong. Reflections in the mirror, I'm sipping on Palmer's song. Mind hazy, getting faded, multiple hits from a bone. Instagram notifications be blowing up on my phone. Random women DMing me, they hoping I play alone. But I won't, I'm too strong. Mindset is where the cash at. Hustle to my goals, and when I'm there, I'm moving past that. Roll a game up like a spliff, I'm finna pass that. I'm on, so my team on, and yeah, my nigga, that's that. I'm grinding on the daily, dark slide mainly. Dark side, Darth Vader, how these niggas made me. Raging river thoughts flowing, so my hair wavy. Solid nigga wave me, you bit wanna lay me. I'm strapped up with my new 4-5. My back against the wall, so you know I gotta grind. My sturdy foundation cannot be undermined. Like a diamond in the rough, I'm a gem that is unrefined. Back against the wall, you gotta grind. When you're back against the wall, you know that you gotta grind. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, just being honest. In the moral of the story is focusing on your dollars, little nigga. Back against the wall, you gotta grind. When you're back against the wall, you know that you gotta grind. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, just being honest. In the moral of the story is focusing on your dollars, little nigga. Looking in my eyes is like staring at a demon, heart freezing. Bars cold is like my throat a freezer. Sipping Easter pink, that's a cup full of ether. Either I'm calm or on the edge of being lethal. No in between them, murder mentality. Tool on deck, a pull from stripping your vitality. And I'm an animal, she want the bestiality. 2 strokes away from her losing her sanity. Soul snatcher general, I just give an order. It's amazing what my pen'll do. When this performing and I keep a clip or 2. I'm something like a hoarder on my hitman shit, so you gotta pre-order. I'm talking slumlord shit, and they gotta pay rent. This chop a whole 30 tenants that I'm about to evict. A walking contradictory, meaning I'm hard to predict. And plus my gun know the deal, you can say that it's hip. Back against the wall, you gotta grind. When you're back against the wall, you know that you gotta grind. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, just being honest. In the moral of the story is focusing on your dollars, little nigga. Back against the wall, you gotta grind. When you're back against the wall, you know that you gotta grind. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, just being honest. In the moral of the story is focusing on your dollars, little nigga.